Okay, I can hear you now.
God damn. Oh, I'm technology challenged. All right. Welcome back. Episode 2 for what we are initially calling the No Name Wrestling Podcast,
Unless
unless
someone
someone
has
has
that
that
name,
name and they send us a cease and desist.
then we'll
So,
have to figure out something
yeah,
else.
yeah, exactly. But you're pretty creative. So
I'll figure it out
I feel
if
like you can figure it out.
if we need to.
All right. So, we episode 1 we said kind of told everybody what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about, and then we spent pretty much the entire time talking about WWE. And we didn't talk about All Elite Wrestling.
The company
Oh,
that I didn't like for like a year and a half,
the one that I told you you're going to end up watching this more. I
which
hate
is
it. I'm
which
not going to watch All
listen,
Elite.
listen. We can thank
Eh.
Kenny Omega for that. So
Well, I just want you to admit right now in front of
I'm
everybody
not saying you were wrong.
who was right.
You were right.
That's right.
I
I
don't
was
know. I
right.
just like it more than I mean, it's not that I don't like WWE. It's just I like AEW more.
So I don't hardly ever watch this. I know a lot of the people because they were in WWE at one point, right? Or I've watched a little bit to know who some of them are. But so let's talk about, well, today was a big pay-per-view. The shows leading up to it, um, Dynamite, right? So Dynamite
Yes.
had the TBS championship contract signing, Britt Baker,
And Mercedes
Mercedes
Monet.
Monet. Yes. So obviously, by the time everybody watches, they're going to know who won the matches today. But how do you feel? Obviously, I know you're a big Mercedes fan.
I love Mercedes.
I don't know how you feel about Britt Baker.
I mean, in the beginning of AEW, like I really liked Britt Baker,
Hmm.
but there was like a bunch of stuff that's come out
Oh
basically
no, is
like
it legit
um
or is it
oh
rumors?
no, this is legit 'cause it came from the girl who Britt and her friends were like bullying. So, Thunder Rosa when
Oh,
she was champion,
saw her at
Warrior
Warrior
Wrestling.
Wrestling with
So
Cheyenne.
Thunder Rosa, when she was
Hmm.
AEW Women's Champion, she unfortunately had a back injury that made it so she couldn't wrestle.
Hmm.
Um, and sorry, I was making sure this is recording. Yeah, it is. Okay. Um, and Britt for a while would talk about how Rosa never wrestled, she didn't travel, she didn't do this, she didn't do that. When she had
Like off
told,
camera, right?
yes, this was off camera.
Okay. Hmm.
And Thunder Rosa had went to Tony and said, I don't want to have the title. Like if I can't wrestle, I don't want to hold it. And Tony was like, it's okay, we'll just do a interim women's world champion until you're fine and can come back.
Yep.
Um, that Britt Baker didn't like that very much.
Well, is Britt Baker like a power in a woman's division at AEW? Is she like, does she have, I guess, stroke is what they call it in the
She,
business?
well, she was the first ever woman signed to AEW. So
Oh, so
yeah.
she's like the OG and thinks she
Sh-
runs stuff.
Yes.
Okay, well, fine. I mean, she may have for a while, but
It's Mercedes time.
well, AEW's got
They have a
there's quite a
great
bit of the women's
roster.
division is really good. I mean,
They're
if you look at it, there's the ones that off the top of my head, I Tony Storm is over there. The house, what's her name?
Julia Hart,
Yes, she's a very good wrestler.
Sky
Sky Blue.
Blue.
Um, whether you like her or not, Soraya's a name in the business. A lot of people don't like her, but she's been around a long time. So, and again, Britt Baker. There's a lot of women's talent on that side. God, who was the woman that's who was most recent champ? Or I hate this. I can't say what I'm thinking to describe her.
Hikaru
Bit,
Shida,
yeah, maybe.
or oh no, Willow.
Yeah, that's who it is. Willow Nightingale. Is that right?
Yeah, Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, she was that powerhouse, right? I mean,
Yeah, and Willow, I love Willow. She is one great representation for,
Okay, we'll just say it. She's a bigger girl,
Big, yeah, for great representation
right?
for bigger girl.
And being a big guy, I like seeing people that are involved that aren't chiseled from granite, right?
Hmm.
What's it? Not to go back to WWE, but Otis. Otis
Otis,
kills me.
Naya,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, I
Kevin,
don't.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, Kevin Owens. Sammy's not. Not. They don't even have to be a big dude, but Sammy's not like
He's not super ripped.
chiseled out of stone.
No,
So that type of they don't. What I'm getting at is not everybody's got to look like MJF and
Finn
The
Balor and
Rock and Finn and all these guys that are just absolutely ripped, right?
right.
So, but no, so I think AEW. I like what they did. I really liked what they were doing, and this has probably been a year or so ago, right? So we had been to Warrior Wrestling. Cheyenne and I had been. It was before I went with you, and a lot of people that were wrestling on TV were doing this little indie show where there were a couple hundred people in a gym watching this, and uh, it was Evil Uno
Yeah, Evil
and
Uno.
Jay White was there.
That was prior
Uh,
to him even being signed. He was
Thunder
still with,
Rosa was there.
yeah, he was still with New Japan.
That
Jay White.
who was that short guy that I always used to?
Marco Stunt.
Yeah, that guy. And I turned the TV on that Tuesday night or whatever it was, and there's Marco Stunt walking down to the ring, and he was just in a gym with 200 people in it. That's the type of stuff I really like that
That's
because
what
that's what it
that's what
should be,
yeah,
right?
that's what I like about AEW is it gives them that's how I met Sky Blue the first
Yeah.
time. That's how I met Takeshita. Um
Well, when you and I went to Warrior Wrestling at in Chicago, I think it was their last
it
what
was
they
their
called
last
stadium show,
hmm
right? So it was the last outdoor, and the way they went about it, I loved it because you brought in your own chairs. They had, I know we're getting off topic from AEW. We got a little time. Um, they had areas like coned out where you bring in a cooler, you bring in your own chairs, you sit down there, you don't got people piled on top of you, and it was fantastic. That to me, I had as much fun at that as I did crammed in like sardines in a WWE show that we paid, I don't know, $450 a ticket for to sit in the front row.
hmm
On the corner. I think
And
you and me paid
I think it was like
$50.
it was $50 and then it was an
Yeah,
extra 50 for me to go in and meet
yeah, but
everybody.
these, I mean, they were personable. You could,
Hmm.
and I'm not saying that these other big promotions aren't, but
Sorry.
these guys weren't like sometimes being at the live shows or the house shows. Yeah, they go around the ring and they sign autographs and they take pictures. Some of them you get the feeling they're only doing it because they kind of have to do it. Well, while there are some of them that I feel like genuinely enjoys that time they got with the fans.
I will
Like
say Cody
we're talking,
Rhodes
yeah,
is a big one. Cody will stay for
yeah.
an hour
Another one
and
doesn't get enough recognition. Oh, we didn't talk about her on the first episode. Shayna Baszler.
oh my God, yes, Shayna.
Shayna Baszler truly appreciates her fans. I mean, she absolutely 100%. If she's coming over to the rail to give you a hug or to sign something, it's because she appreciates you. And a lot of times, she might know you because she remembers. She remembers. It's not like people going, "Oh yeah, I remember you being there." It's legit. She actually does. She interacts
Well, yeah,
with people,
Shayna,
right?
off topic. Shayna with Cheyenne, Carmella with me,
Yep,
Alexa with Cheyenne, and even Sky Blue with me now.
yep,
Like,
yep. Like you get
crazy.
those people that legitimately are good people that appreciate you. They appreciate the I think I'm gonna forget his name. Guy AJ Styles. When you guys did that meet and greet.
And he
And
called Cheyenne
Cheyenne was sitting in the back dressed up like
Alexa.
Playhouse Alexa, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the hell is sitting behind?" And then you guys just laughed and had a conversation. It wasn't like you guys weren't marking out and he wasn't treating you guys like,
Like a
that was
fan.
legit. Now there
Yeah.
were a couple of those meet and greets. You got Drew McIntyre. Again, I'm going to go back to Drew McIntyre. Guy was, what am I allowed to say on this and what am I not allowed to say?
Well, technically you can't swear a lot. So as long as
Okay,
you
so if I
don't
call him a dickhead, is that acceptable?
that's okay.
Okay, well, he's a dickhead. He sat there like he couldn't be any more inconvenienced, like he didn't want to be in the room. Just a complete jackass, for lack of a better way to put it. Anyway, we kind of
Back to
got off
AEW.
topic. We'll
Sorry,
go back
sorry,
to
sorry, sorry.
AEW. So you had the AEW women's match. Tony
With the
Storm, Soraya. I'm not real sure how you say it.
Soraya.
Tony Storm obviously wins, gets attacked after the match. Um, Again, I know nothing about this. I don't know who Mariah May. Did Tony Storm fight Mariah May today? Is that what
Yes,
the lead in
Tony.
was?
So
Okay.
w when Mariah first started in AEW, um, she came in as like this really big like fan of Tony. All she wanted to do was meet Tony. She wanted to work with Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And then have you ever, what's the name of the movie? I can't even, All About Eve? Do you know that?
No, no.
Okay. So, basically the storyline is based off of All About Eve, which, I think is someone just trying to take somebody else's spotlight
Oh, that's okay.
and like acting like they're friends and like close and all of that until like Mariah won the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament.
I
And
got
then
you.
she got her match today at All In. And
So who won that match today?
Mariah,
Really clean?
no.
So how it was okay.
No.
Well, so that leads.
It was a good match though. That
So who got
Mariah,
involved?
nobody got involved. Mariah just so Tony's thing, which she would always say, chin up. I I can't even say the word. Ugh.
You
I'm
might
just
as
gonna
well
say
just
it.
say it.
Chin up, tits out, watch for the shoe. Yes,
Jesus.
Tony would say
Okay.
that.
There you
Anyway,
go.
Mariah had one of Tony's shoes that
And
was
smashed her in the
covered
head
in,
with it.
or she was trying to. Tony
Yeah.
took it from her,
Yep.
and then Mariah hit Tony with her own finisher, the Storm Zero, and then Mariah hit her finisher and then pinned
Got the
her.
pin.
Yeah,
So
so
that's gonna be that feud's gonna continue then, is what you're
yeah,
saying.
but it was a great match. Like,
Okay, well, I mean, long show today. I
yes.
mean, we're talking about a lot of stuff that leads into it, but a long show today.
I was gonna say the only thing I didn't think I put in the notes was stuff from Zero Hour, other than
All right, well, let's get through Dynamite, and then we can jump
yes.
ahead to the.
I think
They call it
Collision
a
and
pay
then
per view, I guess.
well, there's Collision and then Zero
Okay,
yeah, pay-per-view.
so we had MJF and Will Ospreay. I'm an MJF guy. I love him. His attitude. I love everything about that guy.
I feel like to me, he reminds you of people that you watched when in wrestling when you were younger.
I just, he's white hot on the mic. He's reckless to a point, kind of in the ring where he will do the high risk stuff. I just love everything about him, and I just don't think it gets much better than that guy. To be honest with you, in either brand, whether we're talking WWE or AEW, I think MJF is the man in wrestling right now. That's for what it's worth.
Hmm.
All right, so it's the Continental Championship. So one thing I've noticed about AEW,
They have a lot of
they got a
titles.
lot of titles. So the AEW Continental Championship, is that
Yes.
you can only defend it in the United States?
No. So basically, um, it was like a mix of a couple titles that they ended up just putting together.
But you can be
But
defended all over the world.
yes, but the rule with it is you can't have any outside interference. When you have the match, it's just you and your opponent. Like
Okay.
nobody can get involved or else you get disqualified, and I think you lose the title.
So,
Are you
dude, I
gonna?
ain't even gonna try to pronounce
I'll
his
say
name.
it. Kazuchika
Okada.
Okada.
Is that the guy we met? Takeshita. Who did we meet
I
at
met
Warrior?
Takeshita.
That was
I
Takeshita. Okay.
saw that we like that couple weeks like prior. I
Hmm.
saw Okada at Dynamite.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yes.
That's right.
And
Um.
Claudio
Hmm.
is Cesaro. He was Cesaro in WWE.
Okay, so Dad's going to be allowed to just blurt out things that he thinks, right?
Yes.
Does he still have those pepperoni nipples?
I don't really pay close
You're going to
attention.
look now.
So
You're
now
going
I'm
to
gonna
look.
have to
The
go
man's
look.
got obnoxiously weird nipples for a guy. I don't know why I noticed it, but I noticed it. And does he still crack his neck before he does that nut wrench suplex for his finisher? Or,
I thought I don't know.
yeah, see
It's
now
so,
you're
it,
gonna have to watch all that now.
I know I am.
You like how I said nut wrench? Because
Yeah.
it's like he grabs him around the crotch and picked him up and slammed him on her head.
Yeah.
Some Hangman Adam Page.
I
You're
love
number two,
Hangman.
right? You're number two, I believe. Your number one's Kenny.
My
I
number
gotta say,
two is actually
you
oh my
can't.
God, am I saying? Can I
It's,
can I put the Young Bucks as number two?
I
Or
guess
is it just, I mean, if we're going singles competitor wise, Kenny's number one, then yes, Hangman.
that's what I thought.
Yes.
So, but the thing about Hangman is, I have not seen a ton of him. He seems to show up saying he's going to do a lot of stuff, but he does. They don't put belts on him unless I'm missing stuff. He doesn't get a
So
whole lot of opportunity in that area.
original, and here's what I was telling you about earlier.
Hmm.
Hangman and Kenny built up this huge feud for like months
Yeah.
when Kenny was champion a couple years ago.
Okay.
And when Kenny dropped the title to Hangman, it was right before Punk came in.
Oh, okay.
So Punk comes in and then Hangman drops the title to Punk and it was kind of like second fiddle.
And did that start because did that kind of start the BS between Punk and the Elite? I guess it was at the time. Was it
I
the
think
fact
it
that
was
Punk came in and they just
I think it
handed
was
everything to him?
no, because originally the Bucks loved Punk. They came in they wanted him there. He showed up because he wanted to work with them. I think what happened was is they're friends with Colt Cabana.
Oh God. So
Yeah.
anybody that doesn't know Colt Cabana, when this has been what, 8, 10 years
It's
ago,
been a while.
that CM Punk sat down and basically spilled the beans on what went on in WWE and why he left on the Colt Cabana podcast. And something had, I don't know what it was, maybe you do, but something happened between Colt Cabana and CM Punk after that that I'm pretty sure they hate each other now,
Oh,
don't
they
they?
do.
I
Because the
don't.
whole thing about like do you remember me telling you about the workers' rights promo that Hangman cut on
Yeah.
Punk?
Yep.
So that had to do, I think, with Colt Cabana.
Okay.
And it was just a whole mess. And at the time, the Bucks and Kenny still wanted to like work with them. And Hangman is enough of a professional that like he will still work with you even if he doesn't like you.
And Hangman's the one that is he the one that Punk said went into business for himself and cut the promo that
Hmm.
started all the backstage shit
Hmm.
that now there's a what is it?
A cease and desist? No, not a cease.
No, it's not.
NDA.
Yeah, there's not disclosure. Like Punk legally cannot talk about what went on.
Right. And like the Bucks signed an NDA, Kenny signed an NDA. Hangman didn't sign an NDA. He can say whatever he wants to. It was
Yeah, I guess
basically whoever was involved in Brawl Out had to sign an NDA.
interesting. So anyway, Hangman attacked Evil Uno to show he would. So there was a gauntlet match to determine who was going to fight Swerve. Is that right?
Well, it's
For
not
the
Swerve
well, no,
anymore.
no, I understand we haven't gotten there,
But
but there was a
yes.
gauntlet match to determine who was going to fight Swerve for the belt today.
No. So
Oh, so I'm wrong.
this was for a contract for a match whenever you want.
Ah, I got you. Okay,
Yes.
so and he basically attacked Evil Uno, showing that he didn't care. He'd do whatever.
Because he
This
used to be
is,
friends with Evil Uno.
I got you. That makes sense to me now. So that moves us to the main event, the Elite against FTR and Darby Allin.
Fucking hate FTR. I'm so sorry I dropped the F-bomb. I'm gonna have to bleep it out. I hate FTR.
Well,
I hate
I'm
it's
not a.
okay. I don't hate both of
Yes, you
them.
do.
I don't mind the one. I don't like Dax. He pisses me off.
So Dax is the which one's the bald guy?
That's Dax. FTR bald. He knows that he's called that. He said it on Twitter.
Uh, the fact that they came to AEW and couldn't come up with their own team name other than to take a shot at what they were called in WWE,
Actually, no. Do you want to know
or how
where
did
their
that
name
happen?
came from? So on Being the Elite, which was the Young Bucks' YouTube channel,
Yeah.
um, in when they were in New Japan, they would always be like F the revival,
Oh,
like
so
them
that's
and
where it
Cody.
came
So that's
from.
where FTR came from.
I got you. So I was dead wrong about that, but so and it looks like the Elite lost that main event match.
Yeah, Matt got pinned. So with the Elite, it was because obviously Okada had that match earlier,
Yep.
so he wasn't in it. It was Matt and Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, as they like to go by now, and Jack
Yep.
Perry.
Oh, Jungle Boy.
Well, he's not Jungle Boy anymore.
He should be. He's too much of a hard ass now. He wears a leather coat. He can't run around in a
And a
loincloth.
goat head. Have
He
you
wears a
seen him? He
goat
has
head now.
a goat head mask.
Come on,
It's
man.
because he calls himself the scapegoat.
I understand that, but
He walked out in it, and I was like, "What is this?
come on, Jack.
Come on, man."
Luke Perry would have never put a goat face on. I'm just saying.
Wow, bring up his dad, huh?
Well, I mean, how do you not? Anybody my age, how do you not bring up his dad? I mean, we grew up on that guy.
hmm
Um, the biggest thing, and I told you in the first episode that I was going to wait to bring this up until we got to AEW.
No, I forgot.
The
I
big
forgot
thing
who showed up
at the
after
end of
that.
that FTR and Darby Allin win,
No, not the
my friends,
acclaimed. No,
the acclaim,
not the acclaimed. No, what? No, no.
the acclaim shows up and they confront him. How do you not like the acclaim? They can like make up shit on their way to the
I
ring
don't
and
like Max Caster. I don't mind Anthony Bowens, and I don't mind Billy Gunn. It's just, I don't like Max Caster. Some of the shit he says.
all right, so let's talk about the face to face leading up to this weekend. Swerve Strickland and your personal favorite, Brian Danielson.
Ooh. Basically, Swerved told the crowd that he was gonna like force Brian to retire, and then if Brian ever came back, like he was basically said that he was gonna like kill Brian in front of his wife and kids.
That's a little excessive.
Not like in a way that he was gonna kill him, but like you know what I'm saying. He was gonna
I
basically force him to retire so he couldn't come back in front of his wife and children.
okay, so you just saw the facial expression I had again because I have jumped ahead to the AEW match results. Leo Rush is still around.
Yeah, the collision.
Why? Why
I
is
don't
Leo
know.
Rush still around?
I
Yeah, Collision. I'm sorry. Why is Leo Rush involved in anything?
because
That guy
he's a good like high flying wrestler.
is that the guy? Who did we meet outside the entertainment center that time we were in Florida and we drove by
No,
there?
that was Josiah Williams.
Okay, I knew there was somebody, but I didn't know who it
Yes,
was.
we met Josiah Williams outside the PC.
So now we got just looking through here. The conglomeration picked up a win over the Undisputed Kingdom. Willow Nightingale, we talked about her a little earlier, got a win over Harley Cameron. Uh,
Just Shibata.
thank you over Jay Lethal. Any surprises out of this show? Statlander and
Stokely.
Stokely. Oh, so another thing I kind of like about AEW, it takes me back again. I'm going to age myself, and people in your age bracket are not going to understand what I'm talking about. Saturday morning, AWA Vern Gagne promotion out of Minnesota. They would bring, they call them jobbers, right? They'd bring them on the show, and you'd have guys like the guys that were over back then. It was Nick Bockwinkel. It was uh, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. It was guys like that. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Rick Martel.
Speaking of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, you know he's like been on a couple episodes of AEW.
Yeah, that guy was really good back in the day. But they'd bring those guys on, and they'd have matches against people that they looked like they just pulled them out of bars that were probably wrestling house shows for $20 a night. but those guys would get on TV. You know, they would recognize the guys that were never going to be a big name. They were not, but they knew the work they put in, and they'd put them on television because they earned. Hey, I want to tell my buddies, my friends, my family, I'm going to be on TV because I'm never going to be Aleister Black, or I'm never going to be, I don't know, MJF or Kenny Omega or whatever. But damn it, I got on television because I work hard and I'm good at what I do in my arena, right? In my
Hmm.
level, I'm good at it. I really like that AEW does that because they don't put those guys up there just to make them look stupid. That's a reward for what they do off television.
Well, and now you were talking about what company owns Ring of Honor. It is
Mm-hmm.
AEW. Tony Khan
Okay.
bought Ring of Honor. So
Okay.
it's kind of like their I actually
So
had a friend of mine that I knew that I met on Twitter, and she and I are friends on Facebook. She wrestled on Ring of Honor a couple times.
nice. Nice.
Shout out to
So
Emily J.
I don't know you, but nice work. Um, Big Bill versus Hook. Hook got to win. This next one just kills me. Jeff Jarrett.
Do you
Is
not
he
remember?
still hitting? Is he still hitting people with guitars?
He did that today.
Okay, let's see. He got a W.
Okay, so over, do you see who that is? We saw Davari.
Davari, yeah.
Yeah.
Davar. Oh my God, that's who that is.
Yes. I have the fake 100 in the Money in the Bank
Oh, he
briefcase in
tried to
there.
steal it back from me.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
I had that fake 100 in my hand, and he tried
He
to
tried
yank
to
it
take
away
it
from me.
back, and you were like, no.
I'm like, you're not big enough, dude. You ain't. I don't care if this is fake or not. You're not getting this away from me.
No.
Okay, main event for Collision. I know we're going through it quick, but I want to get to All In.
Pack,
Who is
which was,
Pac?
remember Neville
Yeah, the
from,
man that Gravity forgot
yes.
or something. Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that's Neville.
Does he still look like an elf?
A little bit.
He still got the long hair and the goofy beard, or no?
The beard's not as bad, but he's still got the long hair, yes.
Anyway, that guy could. He was a high flyer, though. He could perform. There's no question about that. Blackpool Combat Club. That's don't tell me. The guy was in the Shield, right?
Yes.
Dean Ambrose.
Yes. John
Okay, so he's
Moxley.
yeah. Sorry, John Moxley.
You will get used to
Yeah, I'll learn.
it.
Versus Leo Rush and Top Flight. Who's Top Flight?
Top Flight are brothers Dante and Darius Martin. They're actually from around here, from what
Okay,
I remember. Um, they are normally in a trio with another guy. I don't know why they switched it up with Leo Rush, but basically this match was to see who went into the casino or not the casino, the trios championship ladder match today.
okay.
And then Pac and it was Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta
They got the
for
W.
yes,
Perfect. So today, I know this show started at like 10 o'clock this morning our
yes.
time. We
It's
we had gotten
nice.
home and
I enjoy when the pay-per-views are overseas, honestly, because then they
well, it's
start
not midnight
earlier
when it's over,
and it's not
right?
midnight when it's over.
Yeah.
So like it's nice to be able to know that like I can watch it and then not have to go to bed right after.
So the good thing is it's like you're not taking time off to watch like New Japan stuff
No.
where you got to take the next day off work.
Yeah.
And let's look at one more thing. I've glanced through here and I haven't seen the name yet, and I was kind of hoping it would pop up, but I'm glad it didn't. I am so happy there was not an Eddie Kingston sighting.
Oh, leave Eddie alone. Eddie's
What
gonna
up?
be Eddie. Leave Eddie alone. He's hurt right now.
Well, he
He had
might
to
be,
have
but come
he had
on,
to have
man.
surgery.
That guy. I am not an Eddie Kingston fan. I mean, him and Drew McIntyre should tag up and just go off.
No.
You know what they should do? I'll tell you what
They
those
s-
two should do. They
no.
should be like Boo
Oh
and
no, we're gonna
Salt.
run out
No,
of time.
we got time. We still got 10 minutes. We can get through this.
Okay.
I'll be really quick with this. You can laugh and then we can move on.
Okay.
So Eddie Kingston can be Mike Wazowski, and Drew McIntyre can be Sully, right?
No.
And those two can hop on Boo's door and get their ass thrown out with the abominable snowman and not come back to wrestling. Because those two guys are it's just hack central with them. I can't, and I know this Eddie Kingston probably has some cult following, and I'm gonna get all the hate in the comments for it. But I don't like that guy at all. I leave him off television. He's taking up time that other
Leave
talent
him
deserves.
alone.
So, anyways, let's talk about All In. Um, Big announcement: Australia, February of 2025, AEW Grand Slam. So that was kind of cool to see him expand, I guess, around the world a little bit more. It's again going to be an interesting time of day that show starts here,
In the
but
morning.
yeah.
Well, actually, I think that they'll film it and then we'll get it at normal time.
And then Forbidden Door,
Will be at
back at
Wembley.
Wembley in August. So, all right, let's talk about the matches today. Any big surprises before we go through this?
Former women's world champion Jamie Hayter, who has been out since May of last year, um, returned and tried to beat the shit out of Soraya.
And how did that work?
Um, it worked in Jamie's favor.
Good. You're not a Soraya fan, I know.
No. I used to be, just not anymore.
Well, her and Alberto Del Rio kind of changed my take on them. And we'll leave that there because anybody that knows wrestling knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're not gonna bring that up.
Well, we just did, but we're not going to go into
No.
details. New trios champs. We just talked about them from I think what Collision,
Yes.
Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta. So
I was surprised. I really thought it was either gonna be the Bang Bang Gang or House of Black. Yes, they're called the Bang Bang Gang. Thank
come
Jay
on,
White for
man.
that one.
I thought the house always wins.
That's not true.
Well, it wasn't true today.
No.
Uh, damn. New AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May. Your thoughts on that?
I love Mariah, so I was actually really happy about that because I'm excited to see what Tony's gonna do now that she doesn't have the title.
It's true. They need to, she's still doing that 30s, 1930s black and white. They need to rebrand that. That's to me, that's that's not what I mean. I don't know what she needs to be doing. I don't think that's it though. I just that's kind of run its course.
Hmm.
FTW champion Hook. What is an FTW champion?
I don't know. Taz had it, and then Hook brought it into AEW,
Okay.
and then Jericho won it, and then Hook won it back.
All right. The
And still,
yeah, here we go.
AEW World Tag Team Champions Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. Thank goodness.
And
Because
they
I
were
didn't
up against
the acclaimed
my guys.
and FTR.
Well, we don't really care about FTR, but I still think the acclaim needs to be in that title picture.
They won the titles already once.
They need to win them again.
Well, the Bucks can keep them for a little bit. It's
Yeah,
fine.
a couple weeks.
They've already had it for a few months.
I know, I know.
Those are my people.
I'm a sore loser. What can I
It's okay.
say?
I am too.
So, in big bold letters here on the next one, you've got
Lame.
lame. Christian Cage, the Casino Gauntlet
I
winner.
wouldn't have cared if Christian won it, but Luchasaurus helped him and it was stupid.
Luchasaurus, that's the Big Brother guy, right?
Hmm.
Kind of cool that he's on TV now, as much as he was talking about it back in that show.
Yep.
Um, Similar to, I'm not going to say he's on the same level performance wise or whatever, but similar to the Miz, right? When the Miz was on, I think was it
Real
Real
world.
World, and all he would talk about was wrestling,
Wanting to be a
professional
wrestler.
wrestling. Yep. So it's kind of cool that worked out for both of those guys. So what does that mean? He won the Casino Gauntlet. What does
So
that
that
mean for
means
him?
he gets a title match now against the new AEW World Champion whenever he wants.
Oh, it's kind of like
It's
can
kind
he
of like
run?
Money in the Bank.
Can he do a run in after the guy's got the shit beat out of him
Hmm.
and cash it in? All right, you're gonna have to bleep that. Sorry. Um, then we've got new AEW American Intercontinental Champion Will Ospreay. I mean, what are
So
we doing? What are we doing?
Osprey originally had this title.
Come
MJF
on.
won it. And the only reason that well, there's two reasons MJF lost. One was because Daniel Garcia got involved. He came back and he helped, he cost MJF the win. But then also they were in London and that's where Will Ospreay is from. is the
So what's next for MJF?
well,
Is
he's gonna
he
feud with Daniel Garcia for a little bit, I'm guessing, and then
okay?
they'll push him back into whatever title picture probably when he's
So then we've got the TBS champion,
CEO. CEO.
Mercedes Monet with the win. Now, why is she not in the
The
AEW
world.
Women's World Champion picture?
She wants to elevate the new girls. She wants to
Okay,
put on matches like one of Sky's best matches that she had was with Mercedes. She
makes
wants
sense.
to build the division up, I think, before she moves into that
No, it makes
world.
perfect sense. I mean, she's been around a while. It's kind of like John Cena did with the what's the U.S. Championship,
Yes.
right? So he wanted to get in the ring with up and coming talent, so that's cool. AEW TNT champion Jack Perry. Oh, I didn't see this bullet. Sting returns to help Darby after the match.
Before the Bucks and Jack Perry can set him on fire. Like
They,
Sting
so
isn't
you're trying to tell
wrestling.
me the Bucks and Jack Perry were going to light Darby on fire?
Dude, did you not see Double or
I didn't.
Nothing where
Oh,
freaking Jack Perry got Darby had a flamethrower and it lit Jack Perry on fire.
what do you have? Some flame retardant suit on or something?
I think he had because he's done fire stunts before. So I
Yeah,
think you know that liquid stuff they put on you?
yeah. So
So
you
he
don't
had
burn.
that on.
It's kind of like Kane had on his arm back in the day when they did that. Uh, what I don't remember what it was called, but the Undertaker put his arm in the fire and whatever.
Yeah.
So
This one also,
evidently,
this is extremely unfortunate.
look, I don't like Brian Danielson. I didn't like Daniel Bryan. I don't know. It was always no, no,
No,
no.
no. That's what Mom and I were
I,
doing earlier. No.
I, whatever. He's got a cult following. I know he does. I didn't like the guy when he first won the title back in the day. I just don't care for him. So where do we go from here? Does Swerve come back and fight him? Does Danielson go into a program with somebody else? What's going on
Well,
with that?
as of right now, Danielson technically has a match with Darby in a few weeks at Grand Slam. And then whenever Christian wants to, I'm guessing I'm getting Christian versus Brian at All Out. Yeah, you can see my face. You can see how happy I am about that.
You know what I'm doing right here?
Looking for your peeps?
No, I'm looking for someone that cares. is is I don't want to call him Edge, but is Adam
Adam
Copeland?
Copeland?
Yeah, is he done? Is he kind of come back?
I think he's gonna try to come back, but he had to have surgery, so he's gonna be out for
Yeah.
a while.
And rumors were that Beth might come.
That's what I heard.
And any more about that?
I haven't heard anything else about that, but I could see her going to AEW and finishing like anything there that you know that it's her voice at the beginning of
Yeah.
Edge's or Adam Copeland's
Yeah.
feud theme that you think you know him. That's Beth.
So we're under a minute here. Again, kind of quick and dirty rundown of AEW and what went down. Episode 2, this will drop. Today's the 25th. I'm guessing it'll drop the 26th or the 27th. We're going to try to do a couple. I'd like to put this all into one. Obviously, we crammed a bunch of shows into 2 different episodes here. I'd like to be able to do it in one, but we appreciate you watching. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't. Tell us what you want to see different. Tell us to shut up. I'll talk directly to you. I will read the comments when this stuff gets posted. Taylor hates it because she says I'm going to get canceled,
I
but
don't
I
care you're
will
gonna
respond to you.
just don't
So
say anything dumb.